Hello, and welcome to this edition of Book Center with Sam Jesuit and
Jake Bordeaux, and today we will be discussing Shooting the Moon by Frances O'Rourke Dowell and Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson.
I read Steelheart, and Jake read Shooting the Moon. So, Jake, how was your book?
Well, in Shooting the Moon, when 12-year-old Jamie Dexter's brother TJ is sent off to Vietnam in the war, Jamie is thrilled. After all, her father, the colonel, always told her the army way is the right way. But when Jamie gets pictures of the war from TJ, she learns how terrible the war actually is. Now she is helpless to her brother off in Vietnam when she is only at an army base in Texas, and she must fight her emotions and the lies her once looked up to father told her. I thought it was a great book, gorgeously written with a tinge of drama and sadness to it. It taught me wars are not pretty at all, and how helpless it is to have a sibling off in war when you are only at home. It really was an astounding book, and everyone should check it out.
My book, Steelheart, has a great plot with lots of plot twists and irony, just like War of the Worlds, which I read recently. In Steelheart, David, the main character, loses almost everything he has to epics or superhumans in the book. All he has left is hatred for the epics, until one day he meets the Reckoners, who target and kill epics. He wants to join them and carry out his plan to kill Steelheart, his most hated epic.
So, Sam, do you think your book will ever become a classic?
Yes, I do, because of 4 reasons. It is timeless, because it is set in the future and could never happen. It will always be looked up to in future generations as the future. Unlike books like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which are set in this time period, which will eventually get outdated. My other reason is it is very rereadable. Since all of its plot twists and irony, it's very easy to read again. My third reason is people get attached to it. Like, I was getting attached to the book when I was reading it. Whenever the characters would make a decision or something would happen to them, I would feel like either happy or sad for them. And my last reason, it has great characters, and you always want to know more about them. You want to know their backstory and everything about them. So, do you think yours will become a classic?
Well, even though I love mine very much, I do not think it will become a classic because it doesn't meet any of my criteria for classics. Those criteria are, it has to have an original plot, it has to be ingrained in our culture, and it has to stand the test of time. My first reason it is not original. For example, it is too similar to that of To Kill a Mockingbird, and they both look at our scarred world and society through the eyes of young girls in the South. I just think a book has to be original and different. A copycat book can't be a classic. Plus, To Kill a Mockingbird was way better, so Shooting the Moon didn't get anywhere copying the book. Also, it is not ingrained in our culture. To me, being ingrained in our culture means that your book has to have a movie adaptation and it has to be quotable. Well, there are no plans for movies, and no movies are coming out for Shooting the Moon, so it's not ingrained in our culture there. Also, it's not a quotable book. Even though it's greatly written, its characters don't have that great of dialogue, and there's not really many quotable parts to it. Also, it won't stand the test of time. For example, at my local library, my book has 2 copies. One was checked out 15 times since 2007, and the other was checked out 7 times since 2009. That's pathetic. Apparently no one wants to read it at all, and that's why it's not a classic. More people need to know about it. Personally, I love the book, and I think it should be a classic, but not enough people know about it, so it won't be. However, I encourage you to go out to your library or your bookstore, pick it up, and read it. I guarantee you will love it. So that was today's edition of Book Center. We hope you enjoyed it.
See you next time.